I'm Sonnet with Sonnet's Garden Blooms, and I want to welcome you all to my channel. Now, it has been a pretty long time since I've done any of my videos outside because here in Wisconsin, it has been extremely cold. Today it is a bit windy, so you guys are going to see my hair blowing, but it is absolutely gorgeous out. It's a little chilly, but the sun feels amazing. So I had to take advantage of that. I pulled out some pieces out of my stash, which is in my garage. Have those ready for the weekend. I'm going to be making those over for Monday. Today's video was inspired by a bunch of projects that I'm working on. And many of you, if you've been following along, know that I am getting ready for Antique Acres. It is the barn sale in May. A very big event, and I've been planning and prepping. So one of the projects today was inspired by this material. So you're gonna see me reflip. There is never an item that I feel is a lost cause. So I found this piece of wicker, like it's a wicker couch in the garbage, and I absolutely loved it. But at that point, it was leading into like the fall and winter, and I just was really inspired by reds for whatever reason. And now looking back, I realize it's very niche-y. Somebody that has to absolutely love red would find that piece very appealing. But now I found this fabric, and it just reminds me of like vintagey, and I love the colors. They're real summery, the mints. I love this. It reminds me of like Queen Bee from DIY. So I reflipped it, and I found these at the bins, or found this material at the bins. And actually I went out and I looked it up. It is actually like pretty expensive fabric. It's called Bungalow by Joel Dewberry, and one of the sites, they wanted like $15 a yard for it. So there were several yards on here. The rest of the material, I'm going to make throw pillows for to match. So that's going to look really cool. But in the rest of the video, there's just projects that I'm working on. And I'm going to give you a peek at a few projects that I'm going to tackle this weekend. So you guys, thank you so much for following along, and I hope you enjoyed today's video.
Here is a peek of what the couch looked like prior to me recovering it. And I really did like the red. I thought it was very bright and summery. But again, I felt it was very nichey. So when I found that other fabric, I was definitely inspired to recover and reflip this couch. I love the fabric, don't you guys? I can't wait to show you how easy it is to make a transformation or a reflip with just some fabric. So for starters, I am just going to spread it out, and you guys can see I'm outside. I'm enjoying the weather, but I found this fabric, like I said, at the Goodwill bins, and basically it's really easy to recover, you know, your chairs or like pieces like this. I don't recover big, like I don't like to do reupholstering, but to recover something very simple like this, just having some fresh fabric can make a chair look so different. So I'm just setting it out on there, and I'm going to just make sure that I have enough coverage on each side, and then I'm going to take my staple gun and start stapling. And I do that with all three cushions. And at first, when I got to cushion number 2, I was very concerned that I possibly could not have enough material. But it all worked out, and I had the exact amount of material that I needed to recover all 3 cushions. And I also have enough now to make some throw pillows for the actual couch as well. This went very quick. If you haven't yet had an opportunity to recover a chair or something like this, go ahead, give it a try. It's super easy, as you can see. The next project I'm working on is this buffet, and I'm redoing this in my kitchen, so I need to get it out like ASAP. It is definitely too large for that area. There are 2 drawers that go here, and one of the areas that was flawed with this buffet is this board right here. It was broke off and that top drawer kind of like sunk down. So I have to fix that yet. The other issue was there was actually 4 legs on the bottom. What I did is one of them was actually, one went there and one went right there. That other one on the right was broke off, so I decided to relocate the leg that was from the left side and put it right directly in the center. So I took that, I took care of that. It offers stability, yet I didn't have to have that leg on there. I just thought, well, it's on there, I might as well make it look uniform. So now that I have that drawer fixed, I decided I wanted to have something on the front side of the buffet, and I decided to go with the new paint inlay called Gregory's Catalog by IOD, and I absolutely love this. It's very large though, so as you can see, it is very big. So what I decided to do is cut it in half, and actually it comes in 8 sheets. So I am using the bottom portion of it, and then the top I can use somewhere else. So when you open a paint inlay, you're going to grab the area or the sheets that you want to use. And with this one, I'm going to use all 4 of the bottom pieces. So I am going to cut off the excess on each edge. There is like a little bit of excess paper, and you just take your scissors, cut that off, and then you can line it right up and it's ready to go. With the paint inlays, they are very much like a transfer in that you can cut them up and use them however you want. I do want that whole effect of that whole sign, so I'm using all 4 sheets, and I'm going to show you how to apply it next. So the first thing I did is I found the center of those drawers, and that way I knew where I was going to have the edge of my very first inlay. I then am applying a nice even layer of, you can use any chalk style paint. Today what I am using is Apothecary by DIY. The other thing that is very nice about the paint inlays is that there is a grid pattern on the back side. So I was also able to find out where halfway through or halfway down the paint inlay was as well. So I lined that grid line up with where the 2 drawers met, and I am going to insert or like apply it to that wet chalk paint. And at first I'm just going to take my hand and rub all over. Then I'm going to take my misting bottle and I'm going to mist the entire back side of the paint inlay. I'm going to come back and I am going to use my brayer, and I am going to really embed that paint inlay into that wet paint. I am going to then do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to match up or line up where the 2 pieces meet. I'm going to mist it with the bottle, and then I am going to just rub it in and really embed that paint inlay into that wet paint. I'm going to do that for the other 2 pieces as well. Once that is all done, then I'm going to let the paper dry, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you, once the paper is dry, what it looks like and what we're going to do next. This is what the paint inlay looks like dry. Our first step is to re-wet the inlay. So I'm just taking my misting bottle, misting the entire piece, and then I'm going to start peeling it back. And then you can see that the actual paint inlay is fully embedded in that chalk style paint that you use. and I absolutely am loving how this turned out. Now, one thing that you should take note of is I'm setting those very neatly down below, because with a paint inlay, you can get up to 2 to 3 uses out of each inlay. Every time you use them, the effect will be a little bit more distressed looking, like it just won't be as vibrant as the first time around. But I love that look. I love how, it can make a sign look all vintagey and worn, and it looks very natural. So I'm setting those aside. I'm going to let the paint inlays re-dry so that I can use those on a secondary sign. But I continue on, and I just missed it, and I start pulling back, and I absolutely, like I said, guys, I love how this turned out. It looks so awesome. I am going to do a couple other finishing touches yet to this buffet. I wanted to give you a peek at this, show you what or how far I had gotten at this point. But I am going to add a couple more finishing touches, and I'll definitely show you guys that probably in Monday's video. I'd love to know how many of you have tried out the paint inlays. When I've been playing around with them recently in my videos, a lot of the comments that I've been reading is people are nervous about trying them out. And I think anytime there is a new product out there that you're not familiar with, it could be a little nerve-wracking, but these are so easy, and I know you guys are going to absolutely love them. And really, to get 3 signs or 3 projects or up to 3 projects out of a paint inlay is pretty awesome. Here is a peek of one of the projects that I want to get completed by the end of the weekend. The hutch that is going to be the centerpiece in my display at Antique Acres. My vision here is I want to paint it aviary on the outside, and then in the inside I'm going to either use vintage linen or white swan, and I want to use one of the chintz rose paint inlay on the back. I think that will really pop as well, and it'll make it look real vintagey. I also was able to find these boards, and actually a friend, it pays to have friends that also pick garbage, found these boards in the garbage, and I'm going to show you what I made with them. Check out this caddy. For starters, my vision here is this barn quilt is going to go on top of the hutch. And here, this is what I've created with those old boards. I made this little caddy, and I took an old spindle that I had picked last year, and that's the handle. But my vision is I'm going to have the hutch, plus I'm going to then have the barn quilt on top of the hutch, and then the caddy up there, probably some greens, and then have the whole hutch just full of all kinds of goodies.
So what did you guys all think? Did you like the new look of the wicker couch? I absolutely love it. I think it's gonna go over really well, especially with all the accent pieces that I plan on incorporating in the entire display when I set that up over at Antique Acres in May. If you haven't heard, I did make a post on the community tab that I did create my own Facebook group. In my membership, the ladies in my membership thought it would be a great idea to have my own group page. So I have done that. So if that is something you guys are interested in, go out there, and it's Sonnet's Garden Blooms Creative Outlet group page. So you can go ahead and subscribe to that page. It's just going to be an area where it's a creative outlet where we can share all of our different thrift flips, DIYs, just a lot of inspiration. and go ahead, subscribe to that. You can also, I'm on Instagram, and I also have my regular Facebook page for Sonnet's Garden Blooms. So go ahead, give me a like. I am going to definitely be out there a lot more now. And you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you all Monday. Bye. Bye.